want to believe every one of you practice the challenge that was given to us last week Saturday, the honesty challenge, by telling the truth, asking for permission before using or taking other people's belonging. And I want to believe that you all return anything that was not yours. So if you practice every of those challenge, I want you to clap for yourself, because that shows that you are very amazing, and it shows that you are ready to learn and to change. So, and I want to believe this week none of you took anything that was not your own, and none of you took anything without taking permission from the owner of whatever you want to take. So today we have another important lesson that will help us become better children. Yes, but before we dive into today's episode, I want us to say this together very loud and very clear, as we used to say it every Saturday. It's Kiddies Corners time. We are going to repeat that 2 more times, yes, and I want you to say it with a lot of joy in you. It's Kiddies Corners time, and for the very last time, boys and girls, very loud and very clear. It's Kiddies Corners time. So, and I hope you are ready for today's episode. Alright, we have 4 segments on today's episode. We have the first segment, which is the word of the day segment, the second segment, which is the story time segment, the fourth segment, which is the fun facts corner, and the last segment on today's episode will be the challenge of the week segment. So I want you to stay with me. I want you to take away anything that can distract you. Yes, because we are going to learn a lot today. Today's episode is going to be exciting. It's going to be interactive, and it will be full of valuable lessons. So now let me give us a few minutes to go and call whoever is not here with us. Your brothers that are still playing, your sisters that are not here with you, your friends that are not here with you. Please call them and tell them it's time for Kiddies Corner. And so I'm wonderful mommies and daddies that are listening to us this morning. I want to beg you, please help us to call your kids, because Kiddies Corner is specially designed for children. So, and what we do here on the Kiddies Corner is that we teach valuable lessons that are important for every child. So please, I'll give us a few minutes to go and call everyone that needs to be here, because we can't afford to miss today's episode. So please help us to call them and tell them it's time for Kiddies Corner. Boys and girls, quickly we'll be moving to the first segment, which is the word of today's segment. And the important word I bring to us this wonderful morning is stubbornness. I know most of us are very familiar with that word. maybe someone have used that word for you, maybe the person just look at you and the person will be like, why are you so stubborn? So that is what we want to consider today. And for those of you that did not know the spelling, the meaning of stubbornness, don't worry, I will give you the spelling, the meaning, and even examples that will help you to understand today's word better. So let's start with the spelling of stubbornness. Stubbornness is spelled STUBBORNNESS. Stubbornness is spelled, I'll repeat the spelling one more time, STUBBORNNESS. And for the very last time, boys and girls, stubbornness is spelled STUBBORNNESS. So that is the spelling of stubbornness. So now let me give us the meaning of stubbornness so that we can understand today's word. Stubbornness is refusing to listen to good advice. I will take that again. Stubbornness is refusing to listen to good advice, or refusing to do what is right even after someone has corrected you. I will take that again. Stubbornness is refusing to listen to good advice, refusing to listen to good advice, or refusing to do what is right even after someone has corrected you. That is the meaning of stubbornness. You refusing to listen to good advice. Mommy or daddy or your teacher, they are giving you advice that, okay, do this, don't do that, but you refuse to listen. And that is stubbornness. And it can also mean refusing to do what is right even after someone has corrected you. Your teacher told you that this is not how you are going to solve the mathematical equation, but because you are very stubborn, you refuse to follow her instruction. Despite the fact that your teacher has corrected you, yet you refuse to obey what she said. So that is stubbornness. So now let's move to examples of stubborn behavior. The first example is refusing to do your homework. That is the first example of stubborn behavior. Refusing to do your homework. Your teacher gave you assignment and you know you are expected to do the homework and bring it back to school the next day. But because you are so stubborn, when you go back from school, you decided that you won't do your homework and you chose to play rather than doing your homework. That is stubbornness. And even when mommy is shouting, Bola, have you finished your assignment? You even lied. For most of you said that yes, ma, I finished it, and in the real sense you did not even carry your book. And for most of you, you will not even answer despite the fact that she is shouting, go and do your assignment, go and do your homework, yet you will not answer. That is stubbornness. And for many of you, you know the consequence of you refusing to do your homework and taking back to school next day. For most of you, you are very funny. It is when you get to school the next day that you not go and carry your friend's homework and just copy whatever your friend did. That is not good enough. Then the second example of stubborn behavior is ignoring your parents' instructions. Ignoring your parents' instruction. Your parents already told you that when you get back from school, after you finish your assignments, make sure you wash all the dirty plates, but you refuse to obey your mommy and daddy's instruction and you chose to leave the plate unwashed. That is another example of stubborn behavior. And this second example, ignoring your parents' instruction, it can also be in this sense. Probably mommy already told you that don't go and play outside. Everything you want to do, whatever play you want to play, make sure you play inside. I don't want to see you outside. But you, as a stubborn boy, as a stubborn girl that you are, you were like, shebi mommy is not at home. Then you went to play outside and probably you injured yourself. Then it shows that you are stubborn because you ignore your parents' instruction. Then the third example is refusing to apologize after doing something wrong. Refusing to apologize even after you know that what you did was very wrong. You stepped on someone, instead of you to apologize, then because you are so stubborn, you just walk away. That is stubbornness. You broke mommy's plate, but because of your ego, because you're like, why should I apologize? Then you refuse to apologize. Even when mommy was like, why will you break the plate, why do you break my plate, and she even wants to beat you, but still yet, instead of you to just open your mouth and say sorry, because of that stubbornness in you, you decided to keep quiet and you don't even answer everything she's saying. That is stubbornness. Then the fourth example is insisting on doing something dangerous. When you kept insisting that this thing that they say you should not do, me, I will do it and nothing will happen to me. That is stubbornness. Mommy or daddy told you that, okay, this is blade, razor blade. I don't want you because you are a type that you love just playing with blade, just doing whatever you like with blade. And mommy have been telling you that blade is a sharp object, so stop playing with blade. But because of your stubbornness, you insisted that you will continue to play with that thing. And even when that's what you are playing with is very dangerous, yet because of your stubbornness, you did not want to stop. That is not good enough. And the last example of stubborn behavior is arguing every time an adult corrects you. Whenever mommy or daddy corrects you, your teacher corrects you, you're always fond of arguing with them. You will not allow them to talk. They are telling you, why do you do this, why do you do that, and then you too will be saying your own back, that is what I want to do, I do it because I want to do it. That is stubbornness. So, and these are not good behavior for little boys and for little girls like you. Alright, boys and girls, let's consider good habits that we can use to replace stubbornness. Yes, I've given us some examples of stubborn behavior: refusing to do your homework, ignoring your parents' instruction, refusing to apologize after doing something wrong, insisting on doing something dangerous, and then arguing every time adults correct you. So now we want to consider those good habits that you can use to replace stubbornness. The first one is obedience. Yes, obedience. When you choose to obey your parents' instruction, you choose to obey any instructions given to you by elderly people, that is a